What a long day exploring and fishing, huh?
Yeah, I can't wait to cook all this food on the campfire.
Yeah, let's throw it on there and let it cook overnight.
Shouldn't we carefully put out the fire before going to bed?
Nah, what's the worst that can happen?
I guess you're right. I'm too tired anyway. Let's hit the sack.
Ah, fire. We need to get out of here and save the horses.
This site has become all too familiar to everyone in the past year. That's because in 2019 alone, there have been 46,706 forest fires. In total, these fires are responsible for the deforestation of over 4.6 million acres of forests. And that's a big deal, because one tree can remove upwards of 48 pounds of CO2 per year, not to mention the oxygen it creates so that humans can breathe. In the average acre of forest, there are about 300 trees, meaning that for every acre, over 14,000 pounds of CO2 is removed each year. That's like taking one 22 mile per gallon car that drives 16,000 miles a year off of the road. That means that these forest fires are adding back 4.6 million cars to the road each year. And that's just based on the CO2 that a tree can remove from the atmosphere. With nearly 50% of the tree's mass being made of carbon, a mature hardwood tree can emit up to 18 tons of CO2. Amplifying this to the magnitude of deforestation, upwards of 2.5 billion tons of CO2 can be accounted for. So burning these forests not only has an effect on how much CO2 gets removed from the air, but is also a large contributor to the world's growing CO2 emissions.
That's right, forests absorb an estimated 30% of human-generated greenhouse gas emissions, and fires account for 5 to 10% of global CO2 emissions. All fires need three components to grow: an ignition source, fuel, and oxygen. Since there is an abundant source of oxygen and fuel from trees, all it takes is a spark. Lightning, high temperatures, and humans serve as the starting point for all fires. Did you know in the United States, 4 out of 5 forest fires are started by people, meaning all this destruction is easily avoidable? Carefully disposing cigarettes and learning fire safety help save the planet. Here are the 4 steps to putting out a fire. First, pour water over the embers. Next, stir the ashes with a shovel. Feel around for hot spots, then pour water over the remains just to be sure. And remember, never to leave a campfire unattended and to always take the proper extinguishing steps. Don't be reckless like us. Always be careful with fires. And most importantly, listen to our friend Smokey when he says,
Only you can prevent forest fires.